I am Rachel. I am the
Hi,
CEO
Rach.
of World Plasma. Hi.
Hi.
And also the head trainer. And tonight we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Karla Barrack, and she is the director of training for the 360 devices. So NanoStamp 360 and Cryoline 360. And we have a really special deal that you guys get to participate in if you want to get both the PLAXEL plasma pen and the NanoStamp in a bundle. We're able to offer financing on the bundle, and we're offering a special discount at the end of the Zoom, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, without rambling too much, and so we can just get started and get all this great info, I'm going to hand it over to Miss Karla, and she's going to tell us all about the amazing NanoStamp 360.
Thanks, Rachel. Hi, everyone. I'm Karla, as Rachel mentioned. I'm Director of Education for 360 Aesthetics. I've been in the beauty industry for over 20 years. I am a cosmetologist. I am also a permanent makeup artist and an aesthetic nurse. And like many of you, I have been a business owner, a solo practitioner, and all of that. And the NanoStamp is really a great device for any situation that you might be in right now. It's a great system for both skin and hair rejuvenation. So let me get into it here. So the NanoStamp 360, as a professional, we know that you have many options when it comes to devices. What makes NanoStamp 360 stand out? Some of the features on this device is it's dual modality. It offers both microchanneling and nano-infusion, which I'll get into a little bit more in just a moment. And the design of this device is it's a lightweight device with low vibration. The low vibration is important to us as practitioners because that affects our hands, our wrists, carpal tunnel, fatigue, and all of that. And so that's really important that you have a lightweight, weight balanced device. On our device and on our charging base, from the illustration you can see there's a device and then there's actually a charging base and a dock to hold your device. There is a battery indicator on both. So that way you know how much battery is left on your device and you don't ever run out of power mid-treatment. The battery life on this is insane. I've used other devices for both the microchanneling and nano-infusion, and this one lasts a very, very long time. I think that was, I was testing it because I know it'll last me typically a full day, but a week or so ago, I tested it and kept track of all the treatments I did in one day. I did a full back, which is a really large area. I did thighs, which is another really large area. And then I believe it was 3 faces and a neck, and I still had battery at the end of the day. So the battery life on this is like I said, it's insane. It's not going to fall off or anything like that. It's very secure onto the device. And then, as I mentioned, it's dual modality. So you've got microchanneling and the nano infusion. With the microchanneling and the nano infusion, which I'm going to get in more detail with, the techniques are a little bit different. So when you see videos, microchanneling is going to be the stamping motion, where nano infusion is going to be a gliding motion. A lot of people get very confused by that when they see video clips of our device. I think I have a short little clip here that just demonstrates what that looks like. On the left, there is microchanneling, stamping motion up and down. And then on the right was more of a gliding motion for the nano infusion. This system does use its single-use surgical stainless steel tips, 1 tip per session, per treatment for your clients, and they are disposable. This will improve the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and also rejuvenate hair follicles. So there's lots of different treatment options within this system, which let's get into a little bit about what they are. So right now we've got microchanneling. With the microchanneling modality, this is both for skin and hair. Skin can be anywhere on the body, face, neck, abdomen. As I mentioned, I do backs, thighs, basically anywhere that there is skin in the body. It is going to improve the overall tone and texture of the skin. It's collagen induction. So for those of you that are not familiar with microchanneling, I like to think of it as modern day microneedling. It's less invasive and it has less downtime and inflammation than microneedling. Microneedling is a great modality and it's been around for a very, very long time. It's a proven modality. There's been lots of studies on it. What we know now with recent studies, and when I say recent, that's within the last 5 years or so, what we know now is that we don't have to go as deep or as aggressive as we used to think we needed to go with microneedling. Less is actually better when it comes to needling the skin. Collagen is formed in the top 0.6 of the skin. So that's where we want to be working. Going beyond that, there's no additional benefits as far as collagen induction goes. There's just more inflammation. And then when it comes to inflammation, inflammation is actually anti-aging. So what our goal is stimulation, which is going to be anti-aging where inflammation is pro-aging. So that's where the microchanneling comes in. It's a stamping motion versus a gliding motion that's utilized with traditional microneedling. So there's clean channels are created into the skin. There's no surface abrasions or anything like that, which is why there's less inflammation and less downtime when it comes to microchanneling. With this modality, you can combine it with a lot of other devices or things that you already have in your treatment room. For example, before microchanneling, you could potentially do a dermaplane, an enzyme peel, um, a hydrodermabrasion if you wanted to, if the skin can handle it. Post treatment, you can do things like red light therapy, oxygen therapy. If you have those things already in your treatment room, you can create a whole menu around this. And then the next modality is the nano infusion. Nano infusion is non-invasive. There's no needles. It does not puncture the skin. What nano infusion does is it gently exfoliates the skin, which temporarily disrupts the stratum corneum. This is the skin's natural waterproof barrier. So when you're doing a nano infusion, you want to pair this with a serum on what your goal is with the client that you're working on. And that disruption of the stratum corneum allows the product that you're putting on the skin to absorb better. You're going to get better results and better absorption of that product, whether it is a serum or whether it's a peel that you're coupling it with the nano infusion. Microchanneling is something that you would do every 4 to 6 weeks. Nano infusion, you can do them weekly, depending on what you're using it with. So the nice thing about having both modalities within the system is that you can alternate these treatments and get really great results for your client's skin. I like to do a microchanneling typically every 4 to 6 weeks. So I will bring my client back in week 2 or week 3 and do a nano infusion treatment on them. So with the nano infusion, lots of options here. You can incorporate this into your existing facials. There's no additional time in that facial. It's just an upgrade to your existing facial. So let's say you're booking a 60-minute facial for, I'm not sure what you guys charge. Everyone's in a different area. So let's just say a 60-minute facial is normally, I'm going to say $100 just to make it numbers easy. $100 60-minute facial. The suggested service price for a nano infusion upgrade is about $70 to $90. Same 60-minute appointment, but you are now bringing in $175, $190 for that same appointment time. It's going to increase your profitability in that same appointment time. All you're doing is towards the end of the facial, when you start applying your serums, instead of manually applying it with your fingers, you're going to apply it with the device. You can also do this as a standalone nano facial. It's a quick 30-minute appointment, cleanse, infuse, moisturize, SPF, and they're out the door. Suggested service price for that is anywhere from $125 to $175, depending on what you're using with it. And it's 30 minutes. You can also, like I mentioned earlier, couple it with peels. With peels, that depending on the peel that you're using, it would be $200 and up. Typically for a peel, infused peel, I'm charging that $200 and up for a 30-minute appointment. So the profit margin and the return on investment on this device and the services that you can do with it are really high return on investment. They're very results oriented treatments. So your clients are going to love them and you're going to love them as well as a practitioner because you're going to be making money in those appointment times, right? Sometimes we have services that take up so much time. And when you look at what you're actually making, you don't make that much. And also it's not hard on our bodies. It's not something that requires a lot of physical exertion on your part as a practitioner. So those are the two modalities, the microchanneling, the nano-infusion. With our system, we do have our patented triangle tips. So the microchanneling tips are larger than your standard microneedling tip. A standard microneedling tip is typically about the size of a dime, where our microchanneling tip, our standard microchanneling tip is about the size of a quarter. This is great for face treatments or, neck treatments and things like that. With the larger size, it allows you to get through your treatments faster because it covers a larger surface area. But the triangle tip allows you to still get detailed into hard to reach areas, like typically under here in the inner corner of the eye, around the nose bridge, and things like that, by using one of the corners of those triangle tips. We have that's what we call our regular size or our face size tip. We are launching a larger body tip as well, and that's coming very, very soon in the next few weeks. The larger body tip is double the size, so that one is great for using on those larger areas, like the back that I'm working on and the thighs. I started with the face larger tip now, and it's like half the time. So it allows you to get through those larger body areas. A very popular area that I work on frequently are stomach, abdomen, especially for moms, stretch marks, surgery scars, things like that. So you do have two size options now. It comes in nano. Nano is only on the regular size tip. And then for microchanneling on both sizes, we have 0.25, 0.5, and 0.75 depth on those tips. Our microchanneling tips have 28 pins on them, and our nano tip has over 650 micropyramids. If you've never seen what a nano tip looks like, there's no needles on there. It looks like a microchip. And if you looked at it under a microscope, you're going to see all these microscopic little cones or pyramids on there. And we have over 650 of those. It's actually 100. Most nano-infusion tips out there are anywhere from 20 to about 60 of those micropyramids. So we have more than 10 times the micropyramids. It allows for a much faster treatment as well. Nano-infusing a face takes me somewhere around 2-3 minutes. That's it. And clients love it because it's a quick and easy treatment. It's not there's no discomfort really with that, and it's very results driven. So with our device comes the skincare products that support that professional treatment. There's 3 products in this in our skincare line right now. The Advanced Biopeptide Serum is our growth factor serum. This is your professional product. This is the product you're going to be using in your treatment room for microchanneling. You can also use it for nano-infusion. Although with nano-infusion, you can use any of your favorite skincare serums in your back bar or peels, as I mentioned earlier. This serum is great for both skin and hair. The key ingredients in here are our growth factor blend. There are neuropeptides in here. Neuropeptides help reverse the signs of aging. It also has amino acids, and that helps to keep the skin hydrated and also protects the skin by promoting cellular repair. So again, this one is for both skin and hair. It's a very simple system that allows you to do so many options for any client that walks in your door. Younger clientele, older clientele, male, female, there's a treatment here for everyone. And the one serum makes it nice and easy because you don't have to stock a bunch of different things to do those treatments. We just have the one serum. When it comes to aftercare, we have 2 products. The first one is our Universal Hydra Moisturizer. This is a treatment moisturizer. So it's not just a regular moisturizer, it's your aftercare plus moisturizer in one. This is a skin balancing formula. So what that means is if your client has drier skin, it needs moisture, it's going to give them the moisture that they need. And if you have a client that maybe has oilier skin, acneic skin, it's going to regulate sebum production and also purify the skin. This one, universal, the keyword in this product here, that universal meaning any and every client. So this will be for any client for their skin treatments. It helps to support that. It's a vitamin-rich formula. Key ingredients in here are going to be your hyaluronic acid, and that attracts and locks in moisture. And then we have copper ferment in this formulation as well. That strengthens the skin structure. So this helps to support skin structure, skin barrier, post-treatment. And I have my clients use this ongoing just as their regular skincare, in their regular skincare routine. This also has niacinamide, which is great for so many things. It's calming, it helps with pigmentation, it helps with acne, fine lines, wrinkles, also reduces inflammation. And then we have CoQ10, which is a natural antioxidant. It's anti-aging and helps cells in building collagen. So as I mentioned, it helps support that professional treatment that you're doing in your treatment room. It also has a very small amount of vitamin A, which is going to regulate and promote even skin tones. When it comes to aftercare, I really emphasize to my clients and to practitioners the 80-20 rule. 80% of the results is going to be what they do at home. 20% is what we do, right? They're only with us for a very small amount of time. So what they do at home is even more important. So that's where aftercare comes in. And these products are designed to integrate within other skincare lines that you already have. So it's not going to replace your skincare lines that you already love and use in your treatment room or retail to your clients. These just work within that system, right? They still need cleanser, they still need SPF at a minimum, and then anything else in between that the client would need. Our second product is our pigment corrector gel. This one, for me personally, this is also for any and everybody, but it is ideal for those clients that have, if pigmentation is their concern, advanced aging, if they are a higher Fitzpatrick 4, 5, 6 and are prone to pigmentation, I like using it as a pre-treatment. But it's also preventative, right? So for me personally, this is any and everybody. I love pigment corrector gel. I always say it's like filter in a bottle. It just does something to your skin that makes it look so amazing. And you can use this with the Universal Hydra. This formulation is both cellular renewal and also improves pigmentation. So that is why it's also appropriate for your clients with aging or advanced aging. The key ingredients in here are going to be hexylresorcinol. Hexylresorcinol is a hydroquinone alternative, does not come with all the negative things that are attached to hydroquinone. So non-photosensitizing, you don't have to cycle off of it. It is a tyrosinase inhibitor. It's going to help improve the pigmentation, and it's also great for glycation, cellular renewal. And it also has niacinamide, which, as I mentioned earlier, is great for so many things in our skin. It just does. Niacinamide is like a favorite of mine. I'm going to move on to some before and after photos here so you can see what that looks like. So the first photo on the left there is a client for pigmentation. This is after 4 microchanneling sessions and also using both Universal Hydra and pigment corrector on there. And you can see the improvement, not just on her pigmentation, but just her skin quality, right? The skin itself just looks healthier, more radiant. And that's after 4 treatments. The one in the center there is a client who had a lip lift surgery. And unfortunately, she was one of the, it's very few people that come out with really bad scarring from that, but she was one of them. They actually had to redo her incision, I think 2 or 3 times, and that was the most improvement they got with her incision. So she wanted to improve that a little bit better because it's right there in her face, and you can see the improvement of the scarring there. And then the one on the right is stretch marks on the abdomen. So like I said, that one is a very popular one with women who had children, had children and ended up with stretch marks and things like that. Stretch marks is a little bit tough because the structure of the skin is already permanently broken, so we won't ever get rid of it, but we can improve it. And you can see that there in that photo.
Now, Karla, are you guys able to work on the more fresh stretch marks before they heal and turn white?
Um, so that was a case here. Usually, so historically, I always waited a little bit until they were more white before working on stretch marks. This client, these are my clients that you're looking at right here, these three here. She came in and she was just, it was really bothering her. And I said, look, I usually wait until these turn a little bit lighter before working on it. But if you're up to try it, I will try it. And you can see there after 4 treatments, the improvement on her stretch marks there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I've been wanting to give everyone a really good hydroquinone alternative serum. So I'm really happy that you guys have one and then we can tell everybody about it. Because part of what I do as a plasma lift specialist is I start my clients on NanoStamp. And we do a few NanoStamp sessions first. We get that skin in a state of healing and transformation first. And then we do the plasma treatments when they're ready so that it's like amazing results when you put the two together. And those of you guys who are afraid of the pigmentation issue with your, Fitzpatrick for this very light fours, very light fives, you can use that tyrosinase inhibitor that NanoStamp has and start with NanoStamp, keep them on that serum up until you do the plasma, and then after they heal, get them back on it. So I'm so excited. Anyway, keep
Yeah.
going.
So, no, I love that the pigment corrector gel. So as you mentioned, it is great as a pre-treatment for for treatments where there can be a risk of pigmentation, right? Pigmentation happens when there's trauma to the skin, heat to the skin. So this is I always say it's like your insurance policy by pre-treating first. So for clients that are prone to pigmentation, as you mentioned, like those higher Fitzpatricks, I will start them on pigment corrector gel at least 2 weeks, if not longer, before doing a microchanneling, or in your case, plasma. So for me, that's my little insurance policy. And it is a great hydroquinone alternative. In pigmentation, hydroquinone has always been regarded as the gold standard. It has its pros and its cons, but hexylresorcinol is a great alternative for that. In clinical studies, hexylresorcinol has shown to be just as effective, if not better, than 4% hydroquinone. And a 4% hydroquinone is actually a prescription in the United States. So if you're not a prescriber or you don't have a prescriber, it can be a little bit challenging to get your hands on that.
Now, do you know if it works the same way within the melanocytes?
So yes, they work very similarly. The other thing I was going to mention too, with hydroquinone, usually after certain treatments, you wait. You need to be off of it for a few days, or depending on what you're doing, and then you wait a few days after. With the hexylresorcinol, with microchanneling, you can actually resume hexylresorcinol the next day. They just stop it just the day of treatment.
That's awesome.
So yes. So it's a great product for that. And then on top of that, it's also great with cellular renewal. So my next slide is microchanneling for hair. So here you can see the hair treatments. That first one there, I don't know what this thing is covering my slide. 3 treatments. Okay. That first one there is 3 treatments. And this is someone in their mid-40s. This is after just 3 treatments. Usually for hair treatments, I always prepare clients to do a series of 5, and then we kind of see where we go from there. But you can see after just 3 treatments, the improvement on his hair there. This client has been on prescription medication for hair loss, topical medication for hair loss, done a partial hair transplant, not here on the top where the photo is, but on the sides there. And he said that he has seen more results with the microchanneling than any of those other things that he has done for his hair loss. And that's someone in their 40s. I've done this on clients even older than that, but I just want to show you that, skin and hair, there's a treatment here for every client. As I mentioned earlier, younger clients, older clients, right? This one here on the left is someone in their mid 40s. The middle photo there is someone, he started these treatments, I want to say he was 18 starting these treatments because his mom was seeing how much hair loss he was going through. And she was like, he's so young, what can we do to help him keep his hair because he's so young? And you can see there after 5 sessions, he had pretty good response to the microchanneling for hair. So those two clients there. And then for women, a lot of my women for hair loss, it's going to be here in the recession or this whole front. And you can see with this one, after 3 treatments, her concern was the recession area was thinning out. And you can see after 3 sessions that she got a really great response there. This one actually on the right with the 3 treatments, I only used a 0.25 on her. So it really shows you where, you don't have to go very deep to get great results. That was a 0.25. The suggested depth for hair treatments is a 0.5. But you can see even with the 0.25, it works really, really well. And that was for me. I kind of tested it out because we do have some practitioners where in their state they can only go up to 0.25. So if you are one of those that can only go up to 0.25, still going to work. And our next one, this is nano-infusion. The first one is a combo treatment. That's 3 nano-infusions and 1 microchanneling. But look again at the texture of her skin, right? A lot of times I think people discount nano-infusion because they feel like it's not invasive enough, but it really does improve the skin. And these are just with the advanced biopeptide serum. You can see the center there, 4 treatments. The skin is a lot more radiant, looks a lot more healthy. The one on the right for 3 treatments, I love this one because this client was not ready for microchanneling. So I said, let's start with nano-infusion. I love nano-infusion. That's kind of like the gateway for someone who's not quite ready. And she bought a package. She came in for treatment 4. And we had a conversation before I started, which is why I took this photo here and have the before and after. She said, after doing these treatments, I feel like it's making my wrinkles worse. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, that can't be. She's like, I said, what do you mean? What do you see? And she's like, I'm not sure. I think my wrinkles are spreading. They're getting worse. So I'm like, okay, let me take some photos. Let's put them side by side and just see where, I could be wrong. And after putting them side by side, she was shocked. Just the difference in her skin, right? This is not microchanneling. This is just nano-infusion. And she said, well, I saw that something was different in my skin, so she assumed it was for the worse, but she was so happy with this that she bought another package. So that shows you nano-infusion. Part of it is the modality itself, and then part of that is going to be the products that you use with it. And this one was using our growth factor serum. So what is your return on investment? So let's talk about a little bit about that. Microchanneling. When I'm talking about the return on investment and the pricing here, I'm going to be talking about face because you really can do this anywhere and pricing is going to differ based on the size of the area that you're working on. So on a face, microchanneling suggested service price for microchanneling, which should be about a 60-minute appointment. Our suggested service price is $300 to $350. We're going on the lower end of the scale here to show you the cost of service at $300. Your cost and consumables, that's your tip and your serum, our advanced biopeptide serum, is $25. So your net income for that 60-minute appointment is $275. With nano-infusion, suggested service price there is going to be $125, $175. Going right in the middle at $150, cost of consumables being $25. That's $125 net income in a 30-minute appointment. And I want to say for microchanneling, that 60-minute appointment, That's including numbing. Numbing is optional, but that 60 minutes is your consultation, your numbing, the microchanneling, your recap at the end. And for me, that 60 minutes is also turning over my room for the next client. So it's not like I'm working the entire 60 minutes. So that just shows you what your return on investment is there. And then remember that you can add on other treatments to this, right? So you can really increase your service ticket price in that appointment time. So if you're doing your dermaplane, your red light therapy, your oxygen, you're able to really increase that your ticket price for that appointment. Nano infusion. So we're going to go on that lower end of the scale at 125, right? If you only did 3 nano infusions per week at 125, that's going to generate an additional $375 weekly for you. While it doesn't sound like a lot, in a year, that's 19,500. And that's only 3 nano infusions, right? So this is on top of what you already make. This is not your whole income for the year. This is just if you added 3 nano infusions to what you're already doing at a minimum, 19,500. If you do 10 of these, so let's say you're working 5 days a week and you add on 2 of these a day, that's an additional 1,250 weekly revenue. At the end of the year, that's $65,000, right? If you're looking for ways to increase your revenue, give yourself a raise, or you're saving up for something, look at the potential here. And this is on the nano infusion. Microchanneling. So we're going on that lower end of the scale at 300. If you did just 3 of this a week, that's 900 additional revenue weekly. In a year, that's 46,800. I know a lot of people in this industry that would be happy to just make that 46,800, right? And then again, if you do 10, that's an additional 3,000 a week. Yearly revenue is $156,000. When I was still working for myself full time, I was doing microchanneling pretty much all day. Nano infusion, but mostly microchanneling. Uh, my regular, like my average day would look like somewhere between 4 to 6 microchannelings in a day. It allowed me to work a lot less time, and I was making a lot more money than working full time doing so many other things. My situation's a little bit different now, but I still do a ton of microchanneling. In a week, I only work about 2 days, 3 days, in a totally different situation now, but I still do at least 5 in a week. And my primary role is not skincare. When I was hired for the job I'm at now, this part-time job, I was hired as an injector. And then I was able to get my medical director to let me try to bring on microchanneling, and just I wanted to show her what it could do. And now I do microchanneling, but I'm still primarily an injector. So, you know, for this not being my primary role and still doing at least 5 of them a week, 2 days, sometimes 3 days at the most, you can see right there what that looks like at the end of the year. Marketing tips. So I actually have a webinar. This is for our NanoStamp practitioners. I do have a marketing webinar coming up at the end of the month for our NanoStamp customers. So if you purchase your device, you'll be able to join us for that marketing webinar. And I will share with you exactly how I was able to do this and build my business around this. I've helped other people be able to turn their business around by bringing on these type of services as well. So I'd love to have you there. Pricing. Okay. So right now, the device itself, just the device, is normally $2,000. We have a special promotion until the end of February for the device and 10 treatments. So that means 10 tips and a bottle of serum. The bottle of serum will get you about 15, 15 plus faces. I usually get at least 20 out of my bottle. And that's only $1,900. You get a lifetime warranty with your device, so you don't ever have to worry about your device or anything happening to it, unless you like throw it into swimming pool or against the wall or something like that, it's going to be covered by lifetime warranty. It comes with training and certification. Training starts online. We have an online training platform, self-paced. You do it at your own time. And then once you're done with that, I have Zoom sessions that you can join, and then also special Zoom sessions with specific topics like the marketing Zoom that I just mentioned there. And you also get marketing materials. So if you do, whether you do print or online marketing for your business now, you have all the tools you need to get started in there. If you do social media, we have social media posts and captions. So it makes it really easy to grab a post, an image and a caption and go ahead and just post it. For me, when I'm posting anything on social media, the caption always takes me the longest. So we've kind of done the work for you there. And also email. If you do email blast, there's an email blast template on there. And then, you always have access to our team as well if you need additional tips for marketing, marketing your services or, doing special promotions and things like that. And then Rachel, you have something also for
Yes. Yes. So we're doing an extra special thing tonight. We'll do this through the end of the month as well, where if you're able to get your PLAXEL plasma pen along with the NanoStamp, you'll get an extra $50 off of the bundle. And then you can also do our financing with both devices in that bundle. So if you were to get all of the NanoStamp stuff, like all separately, it adds up to $2,300, but it's now only $1,900. And then if you get the PLAXEL device with it, you get an extra $50 off. So we're so excited to announce that partnership and that package because we have so many people that have wanted to get both together at the same time because I'm such a huge proponent of doing microchanneling as well as the plasma together because they just complement each other so ridiculously well and just enhance your results like crazy. So yeah, that is our special. If you guys have been in contact with Mike, he can walk you through the process on how to get your bundle. If not, just go to plaxelplasma.com and you'll see the bundle there. But with the PLAXEL device, all our training is online. If you guys don't know, we do have trainers set up around the country if you want extra hands-on training. And then we also have a skincare package that you can get with your PLAXEL if you want to have everything you could possibly need to do all of your plasma treatments. And those of you that also don't know, the PLAXEL plasma pen has cold plasma with it. So any of you guys that are looking at jet plasma or the Louise Walsh cold plasma, PLAXEL has that all in one device. Really super secret announcement is we're getting a brand new tip for the PLAXEL. And it's going to be the most awesome tip we've ever had for the PLAXEL. It's coming soon. So if you already have PLAXEL, you've already purchased it through us, then you can get this special deal on the NanoStamp with extra $50 off as well. So for our current students, you can get that deal also. And Deborah, you have the plasma pen and NanoStamp. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So I guess if you already have NanoStamp, you should be getting an email for your webinar, right, Karla?
Yeah, we have a webinar.
Okay.
We have a few other new things coming out too. So if you have a NanoStamp, look out for that email. I also want to mention this is the best time to get your NanoStamp. This is the lowest price you're going to see it for because we actually are going to have a price increase on the device. The consumables won't increase in price, so your cost per treatment will still remain at that low $25 per treatment, but the device itself will be going up in price March 1st. So this is the lowest price you're going to get. I've had some people say, well, wait for shows to start. This is going to be lower than any show price or anything else you're going to get.
Did anybody have any questions? If you want to unmute yourself, you can. What types of tips are included? And how many tips in a box?
So there's 10 tips in a box, and you can choose which tip you want to go with your device.
So the nano, the 0.25, 0.5, and 0.75 are the options.
Right. And that's in the standard regular size.
when will you send info on the new tip for PLAXEL pen? Very, very, very soon. If you have my cell phone or you have my WhatsApp, feel free to shoot me a message and I can give you some more information now. I'm just not prepared to put it all out there. Denise, yes, you are correct. That's it. Just kidding. It's cat's out of the bag. So I'm going to be doing some testing with it. And then I'll probably just put it up on the site for sale so that those of you that are been wanting it forever can go ahead and get it and start testing it too. And then we'll have like a great training on it at some point once I feel like I've got my protocol perfect. So yes, reach out to us via text or via chat widget on our website if you have any other questions. And you have the pen, how much for just the other machine? If you have PLAXEL plasma right now, you can get the NanoStamp 360 for that $1,900 minus $50 because you've already gotten your device from us. So, and there's the link. Mike just posted it there for the NanoStamp 360 starter kit that you guys can go check out if that's the only one that you need. So I think that's all the questions that we have. But yeah, let us know if any of you guys need anything. We're here for you. And thank you so much, Karla, for joining us. And if you get your NanoStamp, she'll send you an email about that marketing webinar that's coming up soon. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It was great to have you all here. And y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.